What is up, everyone? I am back with my Worlds Beyond Number review, episodic review. The Wizard, the Witch, and the Wild One, episode 2. The Naming of Things. If you've ever seen like any of my reviews, you know I try to like figure out why the episode title is named the episode title. I was so animated today. I'm hype. Got some good night's sleep last night. Anyway, but I always try to figure out why the episode names are named whatever they are. So in the episode, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, you just tuned in episode 2. This is where we review certain podcasts, most likely D&D podcasts. Sometimes we do drama stories, sometimes drama, I forget what they're called, drama podcasts, blah, blah, blah. But we are talking about a D&D actual play podcast DM'd by Brennan Lee Mulligan. There's Erica Ishii, Abria Irongard, and Lou Wilson. If you have never checked out anything, if you like D&D, if you've never checked out anything by Brennan Lee Mulligan, he runs a lot of stuff on Dimension 20. Sometimes he's on Critical Role. Check him out. You'll love him. Anyway, let's just jump into episode 2. The Naming of Things. We start off in the cottage. There's a knock at the door. Ame goes to check and see who it is, and they ask, "Hey, can I come in?" Ame's like, "I don't even know your name. Who are you? You may not enter." He doesn't actually give his real name, but he gives like an Annelius. We will call him, he gives like a list of names, but one of the names is called the Man in Black. That's the name that is used throughout the thing, so that's what we're going to use. This is the Man in Black. Ame asks him to come back in 1 year. He agrees, and he leaves instantaneous after he agrees, and everything snaps back to normal because the sun was gone. It was completely black outside. There was not a sound. He goes back. Everything snaps back to normal. We find out that the Man in Black arrival causes like a lot of chaos, a lot of things. Like plants were rotting, the foundation was shaking, things were breaking. Suvi's mirror, I think she had like a message mirror or something, that was broken. Suvi brings like a whole bunch of things that still gave her to give to Grandma Wren to give to, but they were Grandma Wren's. She was just returning them. One of them was like a book of beasts, and one of the beasts was the creature that Yoren turned into the night that Suvi was dropped off to Grandma's Wren. And we find out that these creatures are what magicians can turn into, I guess, for war or something. So, I don't know, a little shaky on that. But then they end up talking about finding Eursulon. They head over to the nearby shrine, and they meet this guy named Mr. Soup. Ame knows Mr. Soup, of course. He's been around for a long time. And she asks him like, "Hey, I need a familiar." And he's like, "I'm gonna see what I can do." He goes off to do his thing, and a fox is summoned to the location. And how Brennan does this is so smooth. A lot of stuff that Brennan does is real smooth, but like Ame's just like, he asked what Ame was doing, and she had her eyes closed, and she had some crackers, blah, blah, blah. The fox tries to sneak up and take the crackers, but Ame catches the fox. And I was just like, oh, okay, you know, like, it made an opening, and I thought that was pretty cool. Brennan is good at playing a lot of things, but a confused animal, I just love it. This fox is probably one of the best things about this show. I love this fox. I love everything about him. He's great. Brennan plays a great confused fox that's just now learning how to talk. So they go back to the house. Ame starts packing some more. She's putting off Grandma Wren's burial. But she ends up getting the fox to follow Eursulon's scent. They follow the fox through all these cities and all these places. And they eventually get to this big like building. I want to say like a circus building tent. This is basically where they put on a show. There's a ringmaster and all that stuff. They go inside and then they see Eursulon performing. He does not have his glamour up. He looks like his spirit wild one self. Ame ends up shouting something that somebody started booing Eursulon, and she's like, "Oh, go boo yourself," blah, blah, blah. Eursulon sees his friends. He instantly gets distracted. You can sense that he doesn't want them to see him in this manner, and he runs off backstage. Eursulon doesn't want to perform anymore. He's like, the show is canceled. Everybody tries to talk him out of it. Suvi and Ame chase after him. Eursulon tries to run off. He sends people to stop Suvi and Ame, but they are unsuccessful. Suvi is very intimidating. God. Eventually they run into each other. Eursulon runs into Suvi and Ame, and Eursulon starts telling them of the hardship that he's had to go through and everything he had to do, and he's just had a rough life, and people have not been kind to spirits. Suvi learns that someone took Eursulon's music box, and she goes and fetch it. And I'm guessing the music box is something from the Patreon episode of when they were kids. She runs into I forget his name, but he's the ringmaster, I'm guessing, and he's like, "Oh, well, you know, like all this stuff, blah, blah, blah." And Suvi's just basically like, "I'm a wizard of the Citadel." And she scares him off. She goes through her stuff, finds Eursulon's belongings, goes back to Eursulon. We find out that Eursulon doesn't even have Wavebreaker anymore. So Ame very quick-wittedly. One thing about Ame and Erica, she is so quick-witted, is like she can give Brennan a run for his money. But Ame quickly goes, "Well, it sounds like you got a quest." Eursulon perks up, and that's where the episode ends. So I really enjoyed this episode. It didn't have that much Eursulon in it. I love Lou Wilson. He is by far my favorite so far. The Fox, real good. It's a solid episode. Not much happened to it. We're setting up. There's a lot of setup with Brennan. He will start setting things up, and they'll fall into place later. It's very much foreshadowing a lot of stuff. Brennan's real good, and it makes me wonder, how far does he write out these campaigns? How far does he do this, or is this all off the cuff? Is he just that good where he could just be like, I said that 20 episodes ago, I need to bring that back? And some people can do that, I guess. I don't know. I'm not one of those people. I'm just like, coincidentally, I'll run with it. But this episode, it's not a 10 out of 10 this time. This episode is a solid 8 out of 10. I very much enjoyed this episode. I like the Fox. I like the interaction between Ame and Suvi. Not enough Eursulon in it, but you know, he showed up now, and we have our quest of what we're about to do and what we have to do and where we got to go. So that's great. Yeah, so setting up for a grand adventure. I can't wait to see where everything goes, even though I know where everything goes. But yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys watching Worlds Beyond Number? Are you guys watching any of the other Dimension 20 shows? Go check them out. They have a Patreon. They're pretty active on Twitter, but they are famous, so they're not gonna talk to you. But if you want to talk to me, I love talking about the show. Hit me up. We have all social medias now. We're on Facebook, we're on Threads, we're on Instagram, we're even on Tumblr. So I will leave the links in the description, the bio. Like, comment, and subscribe. So much information at the end of the show. This is where people tune out. Anyway, always, thanks for tuning in to Miles TV. You guys have a nice night. Bye.